minister promised that his deficit spending would be like an amphetamine to stimulate jobs. But yesterday's PBO report on jobs showed that while the economy was cranking out 200,000 net new full-time jobs during the previous Harper government, over the last year, we've lost 6,000 net full-time jobs under the Liberals. When will the government realize that deficit spending is not a stimulant to our economy, it's a sedative?
The Honourable Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Labour.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm pleased to tell the House that not only is the responsibility of government to provide a skilled workforce, it's to work with industry to ensure that we meet their needs. One of the most important things that businesses have told us is that they need a skilled workforce. And that's exactly what the Government of Canada is doing by investing in young people and all Canadians so that they can meet the challenges ahead. We are working hard to build a strong and engaged workforce.
Thank you. Honourable Député de Carleton.
The honourable member for Carleton.
Manufacturing should be booming, but yesterday's PBO report showed that there are 20,000 fewer manufacturing jobs than when the Liberals took office. The low dollar has not been enough to relieve the burden of taxes, electricity costs, red tape, and debt that Ontario and federal Liberals have heaped on our factories. The Liberal solution? Yet more taxes. Does the government realize that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance.
Question from the Honourable Member. Madam Speaker, what we promised the Canadians is to help them throughout their lives. That's what the first thing we did, Madam Speaker, was to reduce taxes for the middle class, to introduce the Canada Child Benefit, to make sure that we would work for our seniors, that we would increase the guaranteed income supplement, that we would increase the CPP, that we made a historic investment in our infrastructure, Madam Speaker, $120 billion over 10 years. And let me just remind the member, this morning the economists say Canada's example to the world, Madam Speaker. Our plan is understood around the world and is applauded. We're going to continue to do just that.
I just want to remind the member that he's not to use props in the House. The Honourable Member for Carleton.
Madam Speaker, poverty does not discriminate. Neither does a carbon tax. It doesn't care if you're an impoverished single mom or a senior on a fixed income. As long as you eat, drive, turn on the lights, heat your home, you pay more. A Stats Canada official testified to the Human Resources Committee that, other things being equal, increased food and fuel costs necessarily increase the poverty rate. So will the government support my motion for a formal parliamentary study of the impact of the carbon tax on the poorest Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of Environment and Climate Change. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary. Oh, sorry, Minister. I've got all of these little boxes here.
Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know that you take your work very seriously, and I'm happy to see the results of your hard work. I'm also very happy to see my colleague's interest in the question of poverty. I would invite him to read about the effects of the Canada Child Benefit on poverty in Canada, and I would invite him to review his party's policy against this benefit, which led Canada into an unprecedented level of poverty. The Honourable Member for Louis